It's tier list time, and here are the best shooting guards at 2K23 MyTeam. Let's get into it. So we did the point guards tier list yesterday if you want to see that. Hopefully link will be in the description down below if I remembered it. If not, just check it out on the videos. It's out there, and there will be the guys who are primary position shooting guards but can play the point guard position here because these are primary position lists. Don't forget about that because a lot of people do. So here we are, hard pass tier. Started off first, we got Mario, Ellie, Jaren, Jackson, and Isaiah Ryder. These guys are pretty decent. Like, they're not bad. Mario Ellie's a pretty decent shooter, especially off the catch. I just don't find him to be one of the most amazing cards in the game. He's kind of just average in my opinion. He's alright, he's okay, but nothing special. Jaren Jackson's kind of cool too. And I'd say Ryder is a great dunker, but as a gold card, he didn't really be all that great. Still decent tier, we got Vernon Maxwell, Otis Birdsong, Larry Hughes, and Daquan Cook. Pretty decent set of cards, hence the still decent tier, but nothing crazy. Vernon Maxwell can be alright, decent finisher. Okay shooter. His defense is playmaking is you know, he's all around for a Ruby. I was kind of underwhelmed with him, but he's not bad. Otis Birdsong actually pretty decent, does have some good playmaking to him, but the defense is just non-existent. Then we got Larry Hughes, who's kind of supposed to be like a good 3-and-D guy who can finish a little bit, but they really just didn't give him the defense this time. And then Daquan Cook, for an Emerald, is actually a really good shooter, has some okay defense that can actually be a pretty fun card. Kind of give me vibes of the Emerald that we got, what is it, last year, I think? That was an absolute 3-and-D demon. But overall, pretty good, honestly. Nothing crazy, though. Then we got the pretty damn solid tier. This is where all the cards are starting to rack up. We got Sean Livingston, Raja Bell, Josh Giddey, Jamal Crawford, Jalen Green, Bojan Bogdanovic, Shaden Sharp, Ojai Abaji, Johnny Davis, Mitch Richmond, and Jason Richardson. So, Sean Livingston, pretty good. He plays that point guard position if you need him to, and he is a taller point guard, which is why a lot of people like him. He has some defense, has some good playmaking, and has the ability to kind of sort of shoot it. It's not exactly amazing, but he can still do it if you need him to do it, and has a decent jumper at that. Raja Bell for a Sapphire is crazy. The guy has good defense. He can shoot it pretty well as well, and even has some playmaking and some finishing if you need it. For a Sapphire, he is crazy. Josh Giddey just doesn't have defense, but everything else about this card is actually really, really nice. His jumper, though, is a little on the iffy side, to say the least, but overall not terrible. Jamal Crawford, I love this card. He has great shooting, some great playmaking, although not as good as it could be, but just the defense just isn't there. He is super fun to just use in general, but I'm not going to call him a like top card by any means. Jalen Green, another super fun card, but if I'm being honest, just doesn't have the defense to really like back up a lot of some the other guys, and I just think that his jumper is just a little bit too slow to kind of warrant him being on the same tier as some of the guys in the Baby Demon, the Demons tier, just because they are just as good and have better jumpers, at least in my opinion. So I just can't warrant, you know, putting him up on those tiers with them. Sapphire Bojan Bogdanovic, just a great shooter for a Sapphire. Really good card, I think, that we are getting as like a nice budget guy. You can use in some like lower level triple threats or anything like that off the bench, just to kind of lower your overall. Really, really good. And I'm just kind of a big fan of the card. Shaden Sharp is pretty good, but just doesn't give the badges that I think are super key. Like, he's a good shooter, but then loses agent threes, has his jumper on slow, does have the pro dribble style, doesn't have clamps. Like, just he has like a lot of badges and he looks good stats wise, but doesn't have the badges I think that really matter, and badges are pretty huge this year if I'm being honest. Especially like anchor, you can be as good as you want with like block rating, everything like that, but if you don't have a high anchor, it doesn't matter. Just an example, so just not too impressed. Ojai Abaji does have his jumper on slow as well, but is a nice 3-and-D card. I do think he's good, but with how good some guys are getting with, you know, challenger, things like that, playing on the perimeter, I think his slow jumper is kind of starting to hurt him. Same thing with Johnny Davis, has a jumper on slow, is quick, and is a good slasher if you need a decent enough playmaker as well. I just don't really think that you can be running him right now. He's good, but I just don't think he's like on that next level. Mitch Richmond is all right. I mean, he's good enough, but the domination rewards really just haven't been crazy. And then Jason Richardson sadly got his dribble style on normal in the base motion style, I think it is. So he just doesn't move well on the court. He is a nice catch and shoot kind of guy, or somebody who you can pass the ball to, can catch and then burst down to the paint, get those dunks. And if that's what you're looking for out of your card, he is pretty good at it. I just think that there's better options than Jason Richardson out there right now, even at the diamond tier. Next, we got the Baby Demon with Zach LaVine, Victor Oladipo, Rip Hamilton, Jordan Poole, Dyson Daniels, Danny Green, D'Angelo Russell, Bradley Beal, Andre Iguodala, Allen Iverson, Jaden Ivey, and Benedict Mathurin. Pretty decent all-around tier. We got Zach LaVine, who is absolutely amazing. I mean, the guy just goes out there and absolutely crushes it. Offensively, just doesn't really have too much defense, but it is good enough that I think it's kind of okay. Victor Oladipo is just across the board a great card. I mean, he has awesome defense, he has good shooting, his finishing is nice, he's a great secondary ball handler, all around a really, really good card. His price has been dropping as well. Nice budget option, I think, for a lot of people out there. Rip Hamilton, pretty good. He's not going to be a guy who's going to go out there and dribble and cheese for you, but he's going to be able to play defense, be a secondary ball handler if you need him to. He does have that normal dribble style, and is going to be a good shooter with a pretty nice jumper. All around really good card. Jordan Poole, just shifty and gets buckets. I wish this Jordan Poole at the point guard position as his secondary, just because I think it suits him a lot better. I just think that's actually how he plays. He's a combo guard. He's not really a small forward, although he kind of plays it sometimes in the Warrior system. But just a great all-around bucket getter. Absolutely no defense coming out of him. I don't think he has a single defensive badge, but who cares? He's fun, and he gets buckets. Dyson Daniels, same thing as Sean Livingston, but in my opinion, just a little bit better. Has better defense, better finishing, and the shooting is kind of just all right. And I also just think that he's a great card because he's just as tall as Sean Livingston, just does a few things a little bit better, at least in my opinion. So I just like him a little bit better than Sean Livingston personally. Danny Green, just a 3-and-D option. The guy's got no playmaking, guy's got no finishing, and moves kind of like a slug. But when it comes to his jumper, it is great, and his defense is also amazing. He just doesn't have great defensive tendencies, so sometimes he just gets burnt when he shouldn't. D'Angelo Russell, pretty good. Does have a slower, more baited jumper, but has some great playmaking and definitely can get some buckets if that's what you are looking to get out of him, which you should. So all around, really good. Bradley Beal, love this guy. Great jumper, great dribbling. Okay defense, does come with bronze clamps. So just a fun card, man. I really like this Diamond Bradley Beal. Andre Iguodala, just a great, slasher that can also shoot a little bit and play some great defense. He's just a good card. Allen Iverson is 6 foot, but the guy can absolutely get buckets, and they did juice up his defense just to kind of help him a little bit. He is obviously pretty good on the perimeter, but as soon as you get inside, yeah, it's not going to matter. And then Jaden Ivey is the epitome of how people play right now, where you can just run through the basket with this insanely fast Jaden Ivey and just get whatever dunk you want. It doesn't even matter if somebody's contesting you right now because paint defense is so bad. Every shot is a good shot in the paint. So Jaden Ivey just takes full advantage of this. And then Benedict Mathurin, honestly, I debated putting him in the Demons here because this guy is so good offensively. He has a money jumper. His dunking is great. His finishing is awesome. He has great playmaking. It's just his defense is a little bit lackluster. So that's kind of why I stuck him in the Baby Demon. But my God, can he get you buckets? And then last but not least is going to be our Demons tier with Steve Smith, Michael Jordan, Latrell Sprewell, Kyle Korver, Joe Johnson, Jaylen Brown, James Harden, J.R. Smith, Dwayne Wade, Donovan Mitchell, Devin Booker, and Clyde Drexler. So Steve Smith is just good. He is the a new pink diamond that you can go ahead and get in the game right now, which is actually pretty fun through the collector level. So that's pretty cool. 6'7", 6'10" wingspan. The guy's got Hall of Fame slippery, catch and shoot, green machine, and amped along with off-ball pass. Has silver clamps as well. Has some pretty good finishing and even has silver limitless range with the KCP jumper, which is pretty good actually. And the pro dribble style. He's not going to be like the greatest dribbler in general, but he's still a really good shooting guard. MJ, again, he's not one of those guys who you can just run to the paint and take whatever shot you want in there because it's going to go in no matter what. And even has a decent enough jumper that's pretty easy to time, although slow, to consistently shoot the 3-ball. Latrell Sprewell is just across the board a really good card. Everything that he does is super solid, and because he has great finishing, he also feels even better than he should. Kyle Korver is a guy who's going to run around, chuck up some threes for you, play some decent defense. Absolutely love this Korver card, but he is definitely slow for a 2-guard. ISO Joe just feels super smooth. He's a great card. Again, another one of those guys who's an all-around bucket getter, but just has like bronze clamps, so he's not going to be the greatest defenders. Jaylen Brown, one of the best shooting guards in the entire game right now, because Jaylen Brown literally can just kind of lock everybody down, and that's kind of what you're looking for. Jaylen Brown is one of those guys who plays insanely good defense, even has great shooting. His jumper is super easy to time, has the MJ dribble style as well, and some great finishing. Just an all-around beast. James Harden, I've seen a lot of people slander him because he doesn't burst in the traditional sense, but he does have a lot of shifty like dribbling animations that can catch a lot of people off guard. So if you do know how to dribble and you're into like some unorthodox players, James Harden is still one of the best cards in the game. He just isn't good for the mindless bursting left right cheese that everybody loves to do, and really doesn't take too much skill. But if that's what you're trying to do, James Harden's definitely not the greatest. But for anybody else who's kind of into more, I guess, traditional off-meta kind of cards, so James Harden is really good. J.R. Smith, one of my favorite cards in the game, just has the smoothest jumper in my team right now. Guy is crazy. He shoots whatever the hell he wants, even has bronze clamps, play good defense. His finishing is crazy. The best offensive card I've used so far this year. Next, we got Dwayne Wade, another shooting guard, but plays the point guard position most of the time that you're using him. Great defense, great finishing, all around super nice, super quick. I had heard some people like prefer John Morant, things like that, but I think Dwayne Wade's still great. Donovan Mitchell, guy's crazy. Dunks whatever the hell he wants. Has a super smooth jumper. His playmaking is great. Doesn't come with clamps, but I do think you can add it to make it a little bit better of a defender, but just all around insanely fast bursty card that everybody's going to love. Devin Booker, I do think is either available now or is going to be available very soon. So I just decided to include him in the list because why not? The Devin Booker dribble style isn't the greatest, but that's what he's got. So you kind of just have to deal with it. Booker layup style and dunk package along with his jumper on quick. I do think he's going to be a great card. Does come with gold clamps. Has Hall of Fame handles for days. Agent threes, limitless, catch and shoot, and blinders. So even if he's not going to be the greatest, cheesiest dribbling around the court card, he is still going to be one of the best catch and shoot cards in the entire game. And as we saw with like Pink Diamond Jason Tatum last year, everybody still loved him despite not being able to, dribble, just because he had a great jumper. So I think people are still going to like this Devin Booker no matter what. And then last but not least is going to be my man Clyde the Glide. Galaxy Opal Clyde is just absolutely insane. Just one of those cards that everybody likes. I mean, because he obviously is a Galaxy Opal, so he's going to be better than basically every card in the game, but has Hall of Fame Acrobat, Aerial, Fast Twitch, Fearless, Limitless, Posterizer, Slippery, Quick First Step, Clamp Breaker, Ankle Breaker. I mean, the guy is crazy. 94 in the speed, and if you didn't know, Clyde has one of the cleanest jumpers in the game right now. It is one of the best, 6'5" to 6'9" jumpers in my team, or in my career, so obviously it's going to be great on some of these my team guys as well. That has the pro dribble style and just feels super smooth. Clyde is just, he's an all-around beast. So that's my shooting guards tier list. Let me know what you guys think about it down in the comment section below. Like if you guys did enjoy, and subscribe if you guys are new. Hope you have a great rest of your day, and I will see you in the next video.